There is a point during your commitment era where you cannot moralize yourself out of it anymore. You started off on a good path, yes. You wake up, you commit, you show up for yourself every single day. You're doing the work, you're doing the consistency. But there's an era of the quiet, of where your seeds aren't sprouting as much, or you don't get as much congratulations. And when you have to go back to your roots, on how did you feel when you got zero congratulations from what you're doing? Why did you start in the first place? That's why a lot of people who do the quiet work for a long time end up still humble at the end. Because they've had to remind themselves so many times on the pure reasons of why they did these things to keep their head afloat from drowning, from stopping, from slowing down their consistency, from doing anything. Um, the Lord says in the Bible that if the crowd controls whether you show up or not, something like this, but if you need applause to keep going, then when there's no applause, you'll stop. That's basically what I got from it. When the noise slows down, are you ready to keep going? That is such a small question, but I don't think a lot of people really understand what that means. You know, at times, it could be weeks, it could be months. Maybe you're in the gym and you're not seeing as much growth. Like the first 2 months, you lost a bunch of pounds. Now you're in the set of where you want to gain muscle. And now for a couple months, you haven't seen what you wanted to see. You haven't walked in that image that you've been chasing for months. And so you have to take a step back for a second and think, why did I start coming to the gym in the first place? Was it for the vanity, for the cheers, for the boys or the girls to be like, ooh la la? Why did I? Why did you? So you brainstorm for a minute. Maybe you take rest. Rest is biblical, y'all. So if you need to rest for maybe a week to recognize or not burn out from the gym for forever, that's biblical, y'all. That's good for you. Rest is good. So while you're in your period of rest, you remember that maybe when you were a child, you always wanted to, but nobody really believed in you to stick to something. Or you want to show people that you can transform your life in whatever period long that it takes. Honest work. Because a lot of influencers go into the gym with eating disorders or fully planning on taking supplements and calling themselves natural, but you wanted to show everybody that you can do this naturally. You can do the quiet work. You could walk in a purpose that allows you to have the mental strength to get whatever body that you deem satisfying for yourself. That was why you got into the gym. So if y'all can see what I'm saying right now, it's you took 2 steps back to go 6 steps forward. Whenever you have this feeling of exhaustion, I don't think the answer is to push past the exhaustion, because that only really leads to a burnout. You have to maybe take a step back and think, how did you get to such an exhausting point when at the beginning you hopped up, you were at the gym every day, you were smiling all 32s, you were talking to everybody there, you did the work, you were seeing changes in your body and it was exciting. It was a change, you know? But now that you've been living this healthy lifestyle for a while, it's not a change anymore. And sometimes nostalgia creeps back in. You think about when you're on the couch watching Netflix and whatever was happening in the show made you laugh or cry or feel emotions that you want to feel again. But you understand that that lifestyle is on fruit bearing. There's nothing good that comes out of it. So, whenever you're thinking about these things and you just want to define it in your head as, oh, that's bad, 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 I don't think that's enough for nostalgia, honestly. You have to want a commitment bigger than anything you've ever lived. You have to have a strength stronger than the fear of falling back into temptations of old lifestyles. You have to be stronger, is what I'm saying. There's no excuse you can make, there's no procrastination you can do to avoid the work of the new lifestyle. And if y'all are going through this right now, I understand you. I see you because there's no going back, but you feel so tired going forward. The quiet phase is not gonna last forever. I know you're thinking that, but you're not really understanding how maybe tomorrow you might look down and see the six pack ab poking through, or you might run a mile easily without timing yourself or needing to overly catch your breath. You know, these things just kind of happen. If you're on a school journey, you're tired of studying so much, but you want that perfect grade. At the end, you're gonna get that perfect grade for showing up every single day. At the end, you're gonna get those perfect abs from showing up every day. These consistencies, whether you feel like the slow seasons aren't worth it, or you feel like your commitment isn't as big as you thought it would be, or isn't as fruit bearing constantly as you thought it would be, the equation that you set yourself up for, 1 plus 1, will always equal 2. Do it one day and then do it another day, and you will get 2-pack abs 1 week, and then do it one day, do it another day, and you will get 3-pack abs 1 week. I don't know if that math is right, but yeah, the equation that you set yourself up for, you have to remember why you started in the first place, because you knew 100% it will bear fruit. That is who you are. This is who you are, who you set yourself to be. And the work to get here was not easy. You did put on a smile in the beginning, you did show up every day, but that doesn't mean that the work was a walk in the park. Lifting a bunch of weights every day is not easy. It takes strength. It takes mental fortitude, Studying for hours on top of hours, just sitting there locked in, it takes strength. It takes commitment. It takes patience, grace for yourself. It takes a lot of things to show up for yourself every single day. So don't let anybody belittle it, even yourself, even whatever you may be going through. Hard times don't stop because you choose to be better. Life is still gonna life. The thing is, are you gonna let life break your commitment to yourself? Because these hard days, these days full of pressure, these days where you want to come and turn around, are temporary, but they're a test. They look at you and they say, are you going to let life allow you to break the commitment? Hard days, are they good enough to destroy what you're building? That's what life wants to know. And if you can get through this era of quiet, this era of peace, you will realize that you had it in you this whole time. And because you did the honest work, everything you have, you deserve. Thank y'all for listening, and take care of yourself. Good night.